love a joke.
Say, Lucy,
Yeah, Ricky?
a tramp came up to me in the street and he said he hadn't had a bite in weeks.
What'd you do, bite him? Opening butler joke, buddy, come on.
The master says to the butler, Jeeves, did you put fresh water in the goldfish bowl? And the butler says, why? They didn't drink up what I gave them last night.
You know that ancient joke about the guy who saves his regiment, shoots the cook?
No. How does it go?
Hi, I'm John Malos, and welcome to this edition of Connect with Me, live on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Tuesday morning. The focal point today will be on business, and we'll be talking about these and how these can help save lives in high-rise buildings. We're going to come back and take your phone calls. 436-ME-TV, hit option 11. Don't wade through the message. Hit it very quickly. Back in a moment. The focus is on business on this Tuesday morning, as usual. Well, not all the time, but most of the time we try to focus on local businesses right here in the Central Valley. And today we're going to focus on this. You might think this is just an ordinary exit sign. Well, it looks like it, and it pretty much is an ordinary exit sign. But there is something special about this sign. A sign very, very similar to this helped save the lives of many, many people on 9/11, the people that were trapped in Tower 1 and Tower 2 at the World Trade Center, of course, in New York City. We're going to show you how all of that transpired on 9/11 and why an exit sign as simple as that helped save those lives of those people coming down the stairwell after the planes hit. Both planes hit the World Trade Center. Let's go to the videotape and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about initially here in the monologue segment. Kach Hovanessian, owner of Bright Path Lighting, is from Syria. He came to this country back in 1976. He is Armenian. There he is on the telephone. Is he tweeting there or using Facebook? I'm not sure. But he wanted to follow his dream, the American dream, and so he started his own business back in 2003. He has now been in business 10 years. He makes glow-in-the-dark strips and signs with his own company, Bright Path Lighting. First test market for him, New York City. He's got 10 buildings in the Big Apple. Fresno, second test market for him. He has 80% of the high-rise buildings here in town. Mostly these signs, glow-in-the-dark signs and strips, are made to go in high-rise buildings. Live in our studio right now is Kach Hovanessian. He is the owner of Bright Path Lighting. 436-ME-TV, option 11. We'll talk to him about these, the exit sign and some of the strips, the glow-in-the-dark stuff that helps save lives when you're in a high-rise and there is an emergency, a fire, a plane hitting, and you've got to get out. These help you get out. We're back with your phone calls here on Connect with Me in a moment.
Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean Dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
You might not think this is a big deal, and I never even thought twice about it. And, you know, I went up to the World Trade Center one time, World Trade Center Tower number 2 back in 1990, went straight to the top. Never thought about a plane. The thought never even crossed my mind that I had to get out. Took 2 elevators to get to the top, got to the roof. It was a beautiful day, but the thought never even crosses most people's mind, just like it did in me back in 1990 when I went up to the top. But these actually do help save your life in case of an emergency. Kach Hovanessian is the owner of Bright Path Lighting. Good to see you, my friend.
John,
How
thanks
are
for
you?
having me. I appreciate
Am I right
it.
about that? You go up into a high-rise, you don't think about a tragedy happening or something might happen, and my God, I got to get out.
It's just not high rises. Think about the hotels that you're at. I mean,
That's true.
I get lost when the lights
Go to
are
a
on.
Hyatt or something, you're
Absolutely.
on the 17th floor, and
Yeah.
you don't think about it.
Well, we're not familiar with the landmarks. When you walk into a hotel room, let's just say, I have issues finding my room. Now think about that, getting out of the building in an emergency
where
when the
there's
lights go out.
smoke or it's dark, and you got to
Absolutely.
see the pathway to get out.
You need guidance. What we do is we give you photoluminescent markings which glow in the dark to help you get out of the building. Nothing
So
is
how does it
infallible.
work? I mean, how do these things really glow in the dark?
Absolutely, they do.
I mean, we got lights here in the studio, and you can't really tell. We're not going to turn the lights off, so in a situation, if you're in a high-rise, heaven forbid, and there is an emergency, and there's smoke, and you've got to get out, these glow in the dark and help you find the way out?
Absolutely.
How so?
Well, do you remember when you were a child that they would have the novelty grade toys in Cracker Jack boxes? Those were low grade. These are brand new generation, high performance glow in the dark. The technology has changed leaps and bounds over the past 20 years. Actually, glow in the dark's been around for many, many years. In fact, during World War II, a lot of the submarine commanders would get the powder. They would rub it on their hands, and when they turn off the lights, they would use it to see the instruments.
The glow-in-the-dark powder.
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah.
Because
yeah.
it used to come from the ground. It was naturally made, but now it's man-made. And we buy the powder, we make different products out of them, exit signs, stair treads.
How many, and so these were in the World Trade Center towers.
There was a product like this. It
Similar.
wasn't similar. That is correct. They had a paint product. Actually, they installed it after the first bombing in '93. A lot of people complained they couldn't see where they were going. The lights went out. Nothing's infallible when it comes to electricity.
And I remember back in 1993 when the first bombing happened, and they tried to blow it up with a truck bomb
That's correct.
underneath the World Trade Center. There were 6 people that died in that bombing in 1993, and I remember the smoke, just the smoke coming out, and people complaining that they couldn't see because of the smoke. But 9/11 comes around, and this helped.
Absolutely.
These helped.
After the tragic events of '93 happened, they installed photoluminescent markings. It was actually a paint system. They had the handrails, the steps, perimeter area, things that are necessary to egress the building safely.
So as those people that were in the World Trade Center on 9/11 were coming down the stairwells, it was dark, and they used those glow-in-the-dark strips or signs to go down, either by handrail or by looking on the wall.
What they did after the bombing,
After the 2 planes hit.
Yes, after 9/11, they did a whole study. NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technologies, the World Trade Center Building Code Task Force, they did a whole study. They interviewed people. They said what went right, what went wrong. And some of the common denominators, actually there's 3. One was people helping people. The other one was intercom. And the third one was people said we followed the green stripes to get them out of the building.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That made me get into the business, actually.
Right.
It was 9/11. I figured the safety industry is going to grow leaps and bounds.
So you came here from Syria.
Yes.
With your family in 1976?
That is correct.
Okay, why?
To follow the American dream. America offers you hope. You know, when you're in some of these countries, there's no way you're going to succeed.
Well, and you wanted to get away from what basically is nothing but a war zone.
Yeah, that is correct now. It wasn't that bad. In fact,
not in 76,
no,
but now it certainly is.
Oh, I wouldn't go back now. It's
Yeah.
absolutely. In fact, I have cousins still living there, and the news that comes from there is just mind-boggling. Some of these extreme Muslim terrorists, what they have snipers shooting at Armenian Christians. It's sad. It is absolutely sad what's happening.
So you came here in 76. How old were you?
See, that was so many years ago. I was 9 years old. Didn't know a word of English. Yeah.
Yeah, you were 9 years old, and so you grew up into a young man, and you wanted to start your own business. You actually had a business prior to this, right?
Yeah, I did. When I was in high school, I was 18. When I graduated, I started my first company called Kach Screen Printing, printing T-shirts. It's the American dream. The problem.
How did that work out?
I still have it.
Okay.
Yeah, after 25 years, I still actually do it, but I'm more focused on the photoluminescent end of it than versus the T-shirt end of it.
So you got into this after 9/11.
That is correct.
Okay, 2003 actually.
Yes.
And so was 9/11 your springboard?
It was. I was working on some electroluminescent materials. Visualize a Scotch tape that actually lights up. I was working on some products like that connected to a smoke detector, where if the smoke hits it, it would light up.
Right.
But I found out that the Pentagon, other buildings, they didn't want electricity because electricity will fail. Nothing is infallible when it comes to electricity. They love the idea of the photoluminescent markings because it's 100% reliable. There's nothing you can do to photoluminescent once it's charged. There's nothing you can do to stop it from glowing.
What do you mean?
There's no electricity. There's no wires. You can
Okay.
take a piece of the strip, and you can cut it, whatever you.
And
how
this
many
is the
times-
strip here. Let me hold this up real quick.
That's
here,
on the
this camera.
handrail. That's a
Yeah,
typical strip.
this is a yellow strip on the handrail, and this glows in the dark. So
That's
let's
right.
say you're going down a stairwell and you need to hang on.
That's
You're
it.
going to hang on to this.
And
Yeah.
also, these are the stair treads that we have.
Okay.
That goes on a leading edge of the steps, so you can see where you're going. And these products are all UL listed.
Which means
Underwriting laboratories have tested these for heat, mold, mildew, visibility tests. It's a very extensive test that UL does.
right. So you have a lot of buildings. We'll talk about that. You've got what? How many in New York now? What did I say?
We got about 10 buildings
about
in New
10,
York, but
yeah.
we have distributors across the United States that we've done. We just did a big project for Alabama Power.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. We got to take a quick commercial break here. Again, you may not think this is a huge deal, but if you're in a high-rise like a hotel, you're on vacation and you got to get out ASAP, hey, these glow-in-the-dark signs and strips may save your life. We're back. If you want to call in 436-ME-TV, you don't have to wade through that message. Hit option 11 as soon as you possibly can. Back in a moment.
Station 51. Station 51. Television is in dire need of help. Emergency. Paramedics John Gage and Roy DeSoto, please report to MeTV immediately.
LA, Squad 51.
Dr. Brackett and Nurse McCall are awaiting your arrival.
Please stay with me. Just this one thing. It's very important.
Emergency.
I never thought anybody'd find me here.
Fire department, staff. What's the address?
On MeTV, weekdays at 5, 4 Central.
10-4.
You know, kids actually do play with some of this glow-in-the-dark stuff too, like on Halloween,
That's
they
true.
have the glow-in-the-dark uniforms or the costumes or whatever and the toys and this and that. But you've turned these glow-in-the-dark items into a very successful, prominent business, one that could possibly save your life sometime in the future. You don't know.
You have to be prepared. A lot of people react to a problem versus solve it before it happens. A lot of the states now, John, are adopting these codes, mandating it in high rises.
They're
In fact,
mandating this glow-in-the-dark stuff. Now, New
Absolutely.
York has already mandated it, right?
Yes, right now we have, actually Fresno was the second city to mandate photoluminescent markings in the stairwell.
Fresno has mandated it. Second city in the country to mandate?
Yes.
So New York 1, Fresno 2.
This was in 2006.
Do you think every city will eventually adopt
yes.
this?
In fact, the International Building Code, the International Fire Code has already adopted this. In fact, state of Alabama, Ohio, they're already mandating this in high rises.
All right, let's go to our first videotape
Sure.
Of the day here. We'll turn you around to the monitor here,
Absolutely.
Kach, and we got to talk into the microphone.
You
this
got
is
it.
actually television. So, okay, what are we looking at here?
This is a screen printing process. We manufactured a photoluminescent substrate, and that is our screen printing machine. If you notice that there's an exit sign, the little EXIT right there. And
So this is how you make the sign.
this is how we print the sign.
You print the
But-
sign. This machine prints the sign.
That is correct.
Okay.
But there's proprietary formulas in here that I cannot exposed.
You cannot divulge?
No, I cannot.
You cannot divulge. Is it a trade secret or what?
Well, it's my secret, yes. And
well, you can tell us here. I won't share it with anybody. Just go ahead and tell us. Anyway, we got a phone call here. Let's keep that video rolling here. Interesting. And there you are directing traffic there inside your shop.
Yeah.
Good morning. You're on Connect with Me with Kach. What's your question?
Hey, morning, John. Hey, I've got a two-part question for your guest.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, the first part is the element that he's using now. Is there any of the buildings in Fresno? Are they being used locally? And then the second part, is your product patent any chance? So that's my two-part question, John. I'll take my answer on the air.
Thank you. I appreciate the call.
Very good question. As I mentioned before, we've done about 80% of the buildings. So if you go to Fresno City Hall, the Security Bank building, I mean, you name the buildings in town, we've already installed this product in the buildings. The second question you had was regarding the patent. There is some products that I have that are patentable, but I will not, because I have to release the formula, and I am not willing to do that. So I like to keep my products secret, if you will. So that's why I haven't patented. But I am not the only manufacturer. We are the only manufacturer of this product in the West Coast. There's a couple other companies in the United States that do something similar to this. But in the West Coast,
so what's so special about your formula that the other companies that are doing it now across the country, maybe not on the West Coast, but on the East Coast, that makes you unique, that makes you stand above the crowd?
Because I'm good. Well, as I mentioned, the photoluminescent industry started growing just recently.
Well, what's different about your product than, say, theirs? Is it similar?
We do use similar pigments. The powder pigments, it starts from that.
Right.
So we do use similar pigments, but there's things that I do different than most people do.
That make you stand out.
Absolutely. In fact, we are the only U.S. manufacturer that is UL listed at 1/2 inch visibility. Most are 1 inch wide.
All right. Another call. Good morning. You're on with Kach. What's your question?
Yeah. Good morning, John. Two questions. Is it pronouncing his first name is Kach?
Or Kach the Great, that would be fine also.
Okay.
He's not bashful.
Enough, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, first question. How much money did you have to borrow to stay in business or start the business of the signs? That's one question, if you're willing to tell me, or the audience. Second question, why would I depend upon exit signs more than battery-operated lights that I see? I was in the Air National Guard, and that's what they have. When electricity goes out, they have flash. They kind of like a searchlight, or lights that go on when power goes off. Of course, it doesn't last a whole long time, but
and you
what
see
would
those,
be the difference?
and you know, you see those lights that you're talking about, those battery-powered lights in some of the hotels.
Well, let me go ahead and answer that.
Yeah,
Your
go ahead.
first question was how much. As an entrepreneur, you risk everything you have. I put my house into this, begged, borrowed, steal from family to get the company. The exact numbers, I'm not going to be able to give you that on the air, but it's in hundreds of thousands of dollars because there is.
That you had to borrow?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a risk. You put everything on the line.
90% of my success has been failures. I mean, you do, because there's not a school that you're going to go to learn about the product. All the stuff that I've done this on my own. Nobody sat down and taught me how to use this. It's not a hamburger. You know, you can just open up and, you know, everybody knows hamburgers. But
that's a fair question. I mean, the caller had two good questions.
Absolutely.
There. Excellent questions. I mean, how much did you, because this is a focus on business, what did you have to personally risk? You know, thousands of dollars.
Hundreds of thousands. I would, so far, hundreds of thousands of dollars to get this going. I mean, just the UL listings alone, every time you want to UL list something, you're looking at $10,000 almost.
All right, if I'm buying this sign, what's it going to cost me? And I want to buy 10 of these.
They range around $89.
Okay, I can afford that.
Yeah, well, the thing is, this lasts you over 25 years. Once you buy a sign, you never have to worry about a sign for a minimum of 25 years.
Okay, so our caller had a great question about Why are these better than, say, using battery-powered lights? And we have another call here, too.
That
Go
is
ahead.
an excellent question. First of all, by UL standards and the California Building Code, an exit sign has to be visible for 90 minutes. You get that by generator backup or battery backup. And if you go and look at most of these exit signs, they're never taken care of. The lights are out, the batteries don't work most of the time. This is 100% reliable 100% of the time.
Another call. Good morning. You're on with Kach. What's your question?
Yes, good morning, gentlemen. I was wondering if your product is available to the general public, and I'll just hang up. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's a great question, yeah.
It is available to the general public. We do have distributors across the United States. We do a lot of work across the U.S. Are you talking about, is she still on there?
No, I think she hung up, but that's okay.
Locally,
Excellent question.
yeah, absolutely. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to call our office.
Let's say someone has a 2-story house, a 3-story house, and they want some of these signs in their home as a pathway out in case of a fire or whatever.
Well, they don't even have to have the exit sign. What we can do, we have rolls of tape and rigid material. I've had people
that you put down you hold along the guardrails.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
Oh, another call coming in here as I see. Good morning. You're on with Kach. What's your question?
Actually, it's not a question. It's a comment on the last caller that I heard talking about the lights.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was in the Californian on the 8th floor when there was a small fire there and the power went out.
Okay.
So the electric lights came on, and for one thing, they're very eerie, kind of surreal look to the place, which adds to the people's panic.
Yeah.
And the other thing is they do not direct you to an exit. You're on your own to find your way out with those lights.
Yeah.
The gentleman on the phone, his product is much superior because it would be like a path to lead you. You're not because when the lights went out in the Californian, it was a big ordeal for the people are disabled or handicapped or aged anyway.
Right. And the Californian, just in case people don't know, is a high-rise building downtown. It houses some people with challenges.
Oh yeah,
put it that way.
our products in that building actually.
Yeah. I lived on the 8th floor when there was a fire about 6 years ago.
Okay.
It was a small fire, but when nobody knew that, and then when the lights came on, like I said, it was a very surreal experience.
Yeah.
Nobody knew where they were going. People were bumping into each other, asking each other what's going on. And then they had the emergency thing blaring to get out, get out.
Sure. So in your opinion, ma'am, caller, would these signs here, these glow-in-the-dark signs or strips, would they be better? Would they help?
Oh yes, because a lot of the people that lived there did not know where the stairwells were.
Yeah,
I see.
Being handicapped, they always took the elevators.
Okay.
So a lot of people were asking each other, where do we go? How do we get out?
Right.
And like I said, those lights, it was almost like being in a movie, where very surrealistic experience.
Actually,
those
ma'am,
lights were.
The product is installed in the stairwells. However, we do not have it in the hallways to direct you to the stairwells. That's additional.
Yeah.
But the exit signs are there, aren't they?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, exit signs.
Yeah.
They are. Absolutely, they're there, and they're there to show you where the door is. That's all. They do not provide that continuous information that you need to exit a building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you said that you have strips on the stairs.
In the stairwell, yes, ma'am.
The stairwells. The problem was at the Californian was people didn't know where the stairwells were, and there were no exit.
Yeah, you need somebody to guide you to the stairwell.
They did have signs by the elevators that said, in case of fire or whatever, do not take the elevator.
Yeah.
Take the stairs.
Actually, the Californian is very well maintained building. They're very, very proactive. In fact, They were the
yeah.
first building to
That's right.
install the markings in the stairwells. Very proactive. Great people work there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
Yeah, and they did have the sprinkler system, which puts fire out right away. I'm not trying to
we're running short.
condemn the Californian or anything.
Oh,
yeah, we're running a little short on time, so we're going to have to let you go. But I appreciate the phone call. Very good phone call. I appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a good day. We're back with Kach Hovanessian, the owner of Bright Path Lighting, in just a moment.
Is taking care of laundry taking too much of your time? Have you become a missing mom? With a new fast, efficient washer and dryer from Ventura TV Video Appliance, you'll spend more of your day the way you want.
This Amana Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is now just $6.99, and this Heavy Duty Maytag Super Capacity Washer Dryer Pair is only $8.99.
Don't spend your life on laundry. Upgrade today at Ventura TV Video Appliance and save.
We're back with the owner of Bright Path Lighting, who makes these glow-in-the-dark signs, the glow-in-the-dark strips, and many of us, when we think about this, we think of Halloween and the kids playing around with the glow-in-the-dark stuff. Turn to the monitor one more time. It can actually help you save your life, and you can tell us what we're looking at here. This is part of the manufacturing process at your plant, right?
That is correct.
Here in Fresno?
Yes, on Heaton Street,
Okay.
downtown here in Fresno.
What's going on here?
That is the screen printing of the red that you see, which is right here.
Yeah, okay.
The photoluminescent substrate is rigid PVC material, and then we screen print, and it's going through a UV dryer right now to dry the ink. Without that UV dryer, and it dries instantly as soon as it comes out of the other side, this is ready to be packaged.
Okay.
And we do a lot of private label for companies. So whenever you buy a lot of these signs in a catalogs, it's our product, generally
Right.
speaking.
So what's the guarantee on a sign like this?
Oh, we give it a 15-year warranty. But again,
Guaranteed?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Or money back?
Money back, yes. In fact, a lot of companies are switching to photoluminescent markings. Now it's going through the UV dryer, and it falls in a box. We pick it up, and then we package it.
Turn you back around here. That's great. I mean, that's so. How long did it take you to figure out this secret formula you will not reveal, by the way?
It took a long time, John. It took a long time. I mean,
You sat up at night,
weekends,
in bed with a notepad.
Wee hours of the night. I didn't have any weekends. I still haven't had a decent Saturday off in 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm always in the warehouse working,
Sure.
you know, try to come up with better products and things.
And one more piece of video here, because
Yes.
we're running short on time. You can describe the action as we roll it here. What are we looking at?
That is our drying rack. That's an actual glow sheet. That's how it starts. And then
Okay.
that is cut into 8.5 by 15 exit sign sizes.
Is that what the size of this one is?
Yeah.
8.5 by 15. Huh?
Yeah, and that is a handrail material that's also coated. After we coat it, we let it dry. This is a non-skid material. In fact, this is being installed in Alabama Power in Birmingham.
Okay.
We're doing all their stairwells. That is an anti-skid with a photoluminescent leading edge that meets to the UL standard.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty-
amazing stuff. So it's non-skid.
Yes.
You can't slip on that no matter what.
I mean, a lot of these steps, John, you notice they're made out of granite. It's very slippery, or they have rubber coating on them. Very slippery, especially, you know, you come out of the rain. It's not very
Right.
safe.
You mentioned Alabama Power. Let's put up that photo real quick. We've only got about a minute left. So that's the power plant where you have installed these non-skid strips.
Yeah,
right?
if you notice the black.
And they're glow in the dark on the
Yep,
right.
That's right. The lights are off. They turn off the light. They did a 2-year study on different products. In fact, they flew 4 guys from Alabama to our plant location here in Fresno to look at the product and make sure that, you know, we have the right product.
Quickly put the other stills up real quick before we got to go. We got like 30 seconds. This is Salvation Army Silvercrest. Again, on the right, the non-skid glow-in-the-dark strips.
That's right. And that's the hallways in Silvercrest.
Amazing.
That give you the continuous information.
That's if the lights go out on the right.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. So we're out of time. We got to
John,
go. It goes by quick, my friend. But when you come back, you can reveal your secret
No, I will
formula.
not.
No, you will. You will.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I'm just kidding you.
I
You know
know.
I'm just giving you a bad time.
Absolutely.
Hey, I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much
And
for having me.
These do save lives. We're back with more of Connect with Me tomorrow here on Me TV Fresno. Our thanks to Kach Hovanessian. Good luck to him. We'll see you tomorrow on Me TV Fresno.
Look at that. Isn't that a great layout? You son of a gun.
This campaign is no good.
No good!
Darren and Larry, the original Mad Men on Bewitched.